Hi, it's Ben Patterson here with South Jersey Piano, and I just wanted to give a quick explanation of piano voicing. I have a particular candidate here that is pretty seriously in need of some voicing help, so I thought it would be a helpful way to demonstrate some of the issues that it can cause and how important proper voicing is on pianos. So voicing refers to the adjustment of the tone of the piano, not the pitch, that would be tuning, and not the mechanics of the action and how the piano works, that would be regulation. But voicing really refers to the tone production and is primarily centered on the hammers, which are the felt covered sticks essentially that hit the strings, and that's what makes the sound. And voicing is primarily about adjusting the density, the thickness, the resilience of that felt on those hammerheads. There are other things that affect tone of the piano and that can be included in voicing, but primarily we're talking about the hammers when we talk about voicing. And the goal of voicing is for the piano to have good sustain, where the notes ring out for a long time when you want them to have even sound, where every note has the same type of timbre and the same type of tone, and to have a clear, warm tone that's not too nasally, that's not too harsh, but also that's not too mellow or too muted. So here's an example of three notes that do not sound the same. The first two here are quite bright and nasally, and then the third one's a good bit more muted. I'm playing them at the same volume, and this piano has been tuned. So the difference you're hearing there is the voicing. And actually, if you look closely at the top of the hammer, I'll try to show it. You'll notice the deep grooves in the tip of the hammer. See if we can get it to focus a little better. You'll notice the deep grooves in the tip of the hammer on these notes, particularly that one. Very deep grooves. And you'll notice this third one that's not nearly as bright and nasally, the grooves are not nearly as deep. So this one you can see how deep the grooves are, and this one to the right you can see how they're not as deep. It's interesting because this is just middle C and D and E, so you would think they would all be the same, but not the case here anyway. And if we play some other notes here in the mid-range, you can hear very wide variance in tone between some of these notes. I'm playing them all at the same volume level, but very significant differences in tone. So this piano needs a lot of voicing help. The biggest thing and the starting point for any good voicing is going to be reshaping those the hammerheads so that they're smooth and we get rid of those grooves, or at least most of the groove. A tiny bit of a groove is not a bad thing because it does give you a little bit more definition to the sound. But really, when we are reshaping hammers, we're going to get rid of all the grooves and let them form naturally again over the course of playing it. The other thing with voicing that people often don't think about is that your soft pedal, which is your left pedal on the piano, your soft pedal shifts the entire keyframe of the piano to the side, including the hammers. So if you'll notice, when I push down the soft pedal, the hammers move to the right. And the goal of that is that the hammers are hitting the strings at a different point on the hammerhead. And they should be getting a slightly softer sound, because instead of hitting in the groove, they're now hitting just off to the side of the groove. And that is the case here with this note, because the grooves are so deep. There's a huge difference when I push down the soft pedal and move the keyframe over. Pedal on, soft pedal off. But the notes that are not as deeply grooved, there's not really that difference. So another side effect of poor voicing or unattended to voicing is that the soft pedal really doesn't work properly, because it's going to have a bigger or smaller effect on some hammers than others. So the first step here would be to reshape these hammers, and that's hopefully what we'll be doing soon. Reshape the hammers back to roughly what they would have looked like when new. Get some new felt that will be hitting the strings, creating a clearer and rounder tone. And from there, we can do finer voicing with needles to soften the felt. If we need to, there's chemical hardeners and softeners that can be used on hammer felt as well sometimes. A lot of different approaches to dial in the exact tone that you're looking for, as well as to get evenness of sound quality across the range of the piano. But that's a quick introduction to voicing. And again, on this grand piano, it's fairly easy to see the hammers and what's going on with those grooves. The first step really being to fix that, and then from there to pursue more control in the voicing process. Thanks.